What's up, y'all? It's me, it's your boy Asmongold, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about something that whenever I first heard about this, I knew I had to make a video, and that is internet addiction disorder. Now, I first learned about this because I was watching a documentary on Vice. Now, if y'all don't know who Vice is, they do videos and documentaries on like guys who want to marry their sex dolls and Ugandan child warlords, like Joseph Kony's coworkers, and just kind of normal stuff like that. And I saw a documentary, and this was on internet addiction disorder and the literal rehabs that they have in Korea, because this is where it's going on in Korea for people who are addicted to the internet. And, like over in the United States, because, like, let's not even beat around the bush, okay? The reason I clicked the link is I was thinking in my head, is like, I bet I have internet addiction disorder. And, after watching that video, I'm glad I don't live in Korea, okay? Because over in the United States, like, you spend all day on the internet playing video games, talking shit to people, whatever else, and you can just call it a neckbeard, right? But over in Korea, being a neckbeard is a disorder, all right? And they have, like, legit, like, this is not even a joke, right? Is like we have rehabs over in the United States for, like, heroin, cocaine, and alcohol. Over in Korea, they have rehab for the internet because people take that shit really seriously. Like, people here are playing basketball all the time trying to get in the NBA. People over there are playing League of Legends all the time trying to get into, I don't even know because I don't play that game, right? But I'm sure that there's some kind of thing like that. So they have these people, and I'm really glad, as I said before, I'm really glad that I don't live in Korea, because it's like my mom would have taken me to that rehab center when I was like 12 years old. And it's like there are like kids in there crying, and they're like, what did you do? It's like, use the internet. And it's like, it's horrible because they're crying and they're like in this place. But it's like, from an outsider perspective, this is ridiculous, right? And I used to like really not put a lot of I guess like credence or whatever into Eastern medicine and all that kind of stuff. I always thought it was like, like, aren't those the people that try and put the needles all over you? Like, I'm not really a big fan of that. And then I saw a thing, and let me see, where is my phone? I have no idea where my phone is. I must have lost it again. Anyway, so they had a thing where, like, whenever you're holding your phone, and to be warned that your pinky will be curved, like it would curve like this, kind of. It was like kind of weird. And I didn't even really think it was true, but I saw that other people like had posted pictures of their pinkies, and it was legit curved. And I was like, this is something that our government isn't telling us. And I thought, maybe this Eastern medicine might have a little bit more to it than I thought. And so that's why I originally watched the video, and I actually gave it some credence, and I thought about it. And like in psychology, there is a like addictive personality disorder. This is a kind of an umbrella term, and internet addiction disorder is kind of inside this umbrella, along with information addiction, and computer addiction, which are also two separate terms, but they're, as you guys can obviously assume, they're all kind of relatively the same. And anyway, so people, like, they drop their kids off, or they drop people off at this rehab center, and they're not supposed to use computers or the internet, and they have like all these tests for them where they're supposed to like, I think like the final test here is they're supposed to watch a video game, and they're supposed to not want to play it, right? And I always thought that was pretty funny because I would definitely be like, yeah, I don't want to play this game at all. Like, let's get home so I can actually play the game, right? And anyway, so before they even get to that stage, though, they put like if you guys ever had like spaghetti or whatever, and they put it in a little bowl with the holes in it, the metal bowl. Well, they put one of those over your head, I'm pretty sure, and they zap you in the head, or something that's like in the wrist or in the head, and they zap you whenever, I guess, like, you think about the internet. And this is like apparently not all crazy talk, because using the internet a lot, I think it messes with some of the different lobes in your brain, and it changes the way that they react. And also, it's kind of like a reward. It's like an overstimulation of, I guess, I think it's dopamine levels in your brain. I'm not entirely sure about that. That kind of, I guess, like, whenever you receive a reward or something good happens to you, there's like a dopamine release in your brain, and it makes you feel good, right? And so I guess, like, this is like an overload of that happening. And to me, like, this is pretty crazy because whenever I was playing Diablo, I played that game so much. I played it so fucking much. And like, whenever, all right, look, I'll tell you guys, I didn't even think, I was like, okay, this game is going to be okay. I never played Diablo 2. I never did, because back then I was a kid, and my mom thought that if I played Diablo 2, I'd turn into a Satanist. Well, fuck you, mom. Hail Satan. I'm going to do it anyway, right? Anyway, the point is that I never got a chance to play Diablo 2, and so I didn't really get what the hype was about. This is just another fucking game, got some demons in it, whatever, right? It's just like Gauntlet. And anyway, so I get the beta from my boy Dylan, and I play that beta, man, and Oh boy, man, it was light outside. I stayed up all night and I was just playing that beta, just doing the same thing over and over and over. And it's like it had already taken hold. Whenever I was making this video, I was actually worried. I was worried that I would get back into it. I started actually, every single time like a new season comes out in Diablo, I've got to like not look at Twitch because like if I get back into it, it's like a relapse into Diablo mode. And Diablo mode, it's not good. Like before I got really into my channel and I started making Warcraft videos, I made a lot of Diablo videos. And man, like, okay, so the game comes out, right? The game comes out, and it was like a little bit after the game came out, and like guys, I get it's like have you ever gone? I mean, like have you ever gone so fast, like you're sitting there, you're playing, right? And you go so fast, you're vibrating, right? You're going so fast, you're vibrating. Like you're sitting there, you're playing a game, getting levels. I mean, it's like I'm on a perp train and it's going fast, right? And it's like you're sitting there, and it's like the only time you even take a drink, you like click the town portal button, take a drink. Okay, good, back on the perp train. I guess it's legendaries, but it's the same thing. You're just getting the items all the time, all the time, all the time. And I never stop. Like I would go to bed. Like people talk about like League of Legends being serious. Okay, those games are 15 to 30 minutes. Like my Diablo sessions, I get up, I do my Diablo session, I go back to bed. That is it. All right, 14 hours. Like my boys, like I get up. Like one time, one of my boys came over and he was gonna stay, I guess, like the weekend at my house. Right? I didn't even answer the door. I was like, "Mom, you gotta answer the door. I'm playing Diablo." Right? And so I was going so hard. Right? I was going so hard, man. I was thinking, like, man, I tell you guys, I would go to bed. I would go to bed and I would have dreams about Diablo. Okay? And if you guys know how the loot system works, you understand the next part. But I would have dreams in Diablo, and I would actually be playing the game in my head, in my sleep, and I would like have like these hallucinations of playing a game. And you know what the worst part is? The saddest part, and the real reason I could say the loot system sucks is that even in my hallucinations, in my dreams, I never even got good gear. Okay, and so that's what made it real too. Like I actually really thought I was playing the game. And anyway, so I remember it was a couple days later after the game came out, and I had been playing. I think the game had been out for 3 days, and I had played for about 80 hours. Okay, and so I remember I was sitting there, I was doing an Asmongold run with some of my boys. Right, I had my headset on. I was like, "Yo, guys, after this, I wasn't feeling right. Right, I wasn't feeling good, and I put on my headset and I was like, yo guys, I'm gonna have to go after this boss. And I put down my headset and I picked it back up. I was like, yo guys, I'm gonna have to go right now. And like in the middle of the boss fight, I left. I went downstairs and I started throwing up. And I remember it's like at that point in my mind, like, and I remember whenever I was throwing up hamburger chunks through my nose, I thought two things. One, I'm never going to that Whataburger again. Two, I went too hard. Went too hard. And I spent the next day laying on the sofa, drinking Gatorade, watching Judge Judy. Okay? And that was my life for that day. I did not even log on except for like a few minutes. And I started doing the vibrating, getting ready. And I was like, okay, it's too much. I gotta step back, right? I gotta step back. And I played that game, man. I played that game so hard. And I know that if I was in Korea, they'd have put me in a rehab center. And you know what else? I don't know if that's a bad thing either. Man, like that is like even to, like as I said, guys, as soon as I was gonna make this video, I went over and I was like watching I had almost a relapse, a mini relapse. I started watching like videos of like wizards and like crusaders. I was like, oh boy, this is gonna be really good. Maybe I should reinstall the game, And don't worry, guys. I didn't. Okay, I'm around it. We're okay. Okay, we're okay. But it was really close, and. So, I mean, like, you think about it. It's like, is this a possibility? Because obviously it's not a chemical addiction, unless you consider dopamine a chemical. But it's not a chemical addiction where there's like an external chemical that you have to take and it becomes a requirement and your body becomes dependent on it. It's the same as like in like heroin and also other like kinds of like really hard drugs. You develop a chemical addiction. But you can develop a psychological addiction to almost anything. And I'm kind of pretty sure that, I mean, this is a legit thing. And in the United States, this is just being a neckbeard, but in in Korea, this is a disorder, and you guys might want to think about it. And I was like, here's my advice to everybody: is like if my Diablo story rings true with you, is it take like some time and don't look at the computer. Like this is what I do. Like I tell people, like when people take the game too seriously, look, I tell them what to do. I say, listen, like you turn your chair 180 degrees around, okay, like this, you see, it's not real, just calm down, okay, and that's what I encourage you guys to do if you're getting too into it, because I can tell you guys myself, when I got too into it, I was having hallucinations and throwing up hamburger chunks through my nose. So the end result is not always the best thing to have happen. And I guess like the Warcraft tip, bring your friends to World of Warcraft to Azeroth, but don't forget to go outside of Azeroth with them as well. And I think that pretty much sums it up. So I guess like I think it was Socrates said, everything is good in moderation, or something to that effect. It was like ancient Greek or something like that. So I'm pretty sure the translation is a little bit different. Anyway, point is that everything is okay in moderation, but don't go too hard because you might not really like where you end up. So that's pretty much all I got. I thought it was a video and a good little topic for us to talk about because we usually don't really talk about things that are more I guess like more like bigger than Warcraft, but I think that this also has to do with Warcraft, and if it does have to do with Warcraft, you know who you are, and other than that, man, like that's really all it is, and internet addiction disorder, crazy shit, and I'm curious to see if we'll see more of it in the news here in the United States, but we'll see. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.